Hello, this video is about the timeline of my Vocaloid headphone, the replica of the Vocaloid headphone that I made. The one that you see in my hand right now is the very first of the Vocaloid headphone that I created for a fellow cosplayer. So this is about 90 to 95% handcrafted. Of course, the material are not really handcrafted. However, the material was sourced from a stationery store and I turned them into this form, which is the Vocaloid headphone, replica of Vocaloid headphone. However, of course, it's not really looking that very good because, yeah, of course, handcrafted. And what made me create this thing is actually one of my cosplay friend, the owner of this one, asked me whether or not I know anyone who is able to create a pair of this headphone, perhaps along with this as well for the twin tail of Hatsune Miku. So I told her that I might be able to make one of these for her, and yeah, so I did. Which is she wanted to have a light up version of the Vocaloid headphone here. So yeah, this is a light up version of the Vocaloid headphone, and the LED over here is also diffused. Same thing with this. So this is which 10 to 5% of the materials inside this Vocaloid headphone, which is the very first, is the switch, wire, and LEDs. So yeah, the whole thing runs on double A battery. Yes, double A battery. Even the battery compartment also were made from a corrugated plastic. This one, corrugated plastic, as you can see the texture over there, along with the contact points for the battery. Yeah, the contact points for the battery has a little bit of chemical leaks from the double A battery because she never took it out during the storage for quite a long time. This was created back in somewhere around 2016, 2015 or 2016, I forgot, but should be somewhere around 2016. Same goes for the other side. The other side also just another four of the battery compartment, and everything over here is 12-volt system. The LED is 12-volt LED, and the wire here, the idea of this wire here is to connect to one of these, which is for the twin tail for the Hatsune Miku. This is pretty steady. Yeah, very steady because I impregnated with a lot of glue stick, hot melt glue gun, the glue stick inside there, and that's why it is very steady and steady. All of the LED inside here has been diffused, and same goes for this one. However, she sent this back to me just to check out if the whole thing still works or not because she forgot to take out the battery for how many years after she got this and cosplayed as Hatsune Miku with this that time. And she asked me whether or not I am able to cut this thing much more, like give an extra space because this thing is proved to be too small for the wig to go through for the twin tail of Hatsune Miku. I told her that it is pretty much impossible to cut this. How it is possible, but then it will be very ugly if I were to force my way through to cut everything over here because yeah, everything's impregnated by the hot melt glue gun inside there just to make this thing very steady. I will turn this thing on later, and I told her that I'm going to give her an extra pair of this for the twin tail. Same thing, 12-volt LED, and things will be diffused as well. This thing already finished, this one, but I'm not going to do any post processing for this particular one. This design is based on the current latest design of the replica of Vocaloid headphone. So this one has more areas for the wig to go through and much easier. Also, I made little holes on each one of the corner so that the user, any user who wants to cosplay wearing this thing, just run any kind of rubber band, like rubber band for tying up your hair or anything to any of the points, up to you guys, however you want them to be. And let me wire things up and show you guys. I got my trusty little adjustable power supply that uses USB. However, it can accept from USB Type A, Type C, as well as micro USB as its input. Output for which is Type A, or this thing here, the slot here that you can put any jumper wire, male jumper wire into there. So this thing, the whole thing is actually runs on 12 volt. Things already set on 12 volt over here. It is lit up. However, I think one of the few of the LED inside there are pretty much broken though. As you can see, it's not really that uniform, but then from the camera, it does looks a little bit okay. Only that it is not that symmetrical. However, on the other side, it is very symmetrical indeed. The color is pink. Let me turn on, plug this one on the other side. This is the switch though, the switch. So yeah, it turns on as well. Pretty much almost can see each one of the individual LED. However, it is not that very glaring as a naked LED shines through your eyes. So yeah, same goes for this one. The looks is just pretty much the same. However, if I were to put in the new one, there you go. It is much brighter because the technique used in order to diffuse the LED between the newer one, this one, compared to the older one, which is the first one that I did, is actually different. This one, the older one, I impregnated the older one with a clear milky white kind of hot melt glue gun, which is has a thickness of 10 millimeter. Yes, around 10 millimeter. This one and both of these as well. However, this one, the newer one, I didn't impregnate them with any clear or milky white kind of hot melt glue gun as well. So that's why this thing is much brighter compared to this one. I'm sorry, I am unable to turn on this thing because one of the port were used from the power supply here for powering the whole system up. So yeah, this is the very first of my replica of the Vocaloid headphone. I will show you the second one that I did. Is the second coming of my Vocaloid headphone that I tried to cram in more features into this. And the idea between the second one, this one, is that I am using 3D printer in order to put things together, so that if, for example, anyone who wanted to pretty much commission me to make another one with a working one, which is actually this one, it will be slightly easier for me to make the whole thing. However, this thing still uses 12 volt system, and this thing actually enables you to use this as an actual headphone, albeit that this thing will be very uncomfortable because like of the ear pads, the cushion around here, and the switch is right down here. Things not going to light up because there are no charges left. This is a rechargeable battery, which is I think a lithium battery 18650 inside here, cramped inside here. I forgot. I think it's 18650 because I put the USB input here to charge the battery, and the LED system is similar to this 12 volt, as you can see, 2 pins as well inside there, 2 pins. And this one, this is the volume. Yes, this is the volume, and this is the mode button to change the LED animation. However, it mainly only blinkings, does the blinks and a little bit of like fade in, fade out, blinking, always turn on, blinking based on the music, as well as blink based on the mic, depending if you are going to use the microphone to make the LED blinks. Yeah, go ahead and change to that one particular mode. So yeah, I got few wires that goes to the other side. So this is the second creation of Vocaloid, the replica of Vocaloid headphone. Why this one? Because I am pretty much trying to either prove myself or challenge myself that I'm able to make a real working replica of Vocaloid headphone. So this is the very first step that I gone into the steps of incorporating a an actual speaker. I forgot the size of the speaker inside here, and this thing doesn't have any screws to hold things together. Only uses, I forgot, hot melt glue gun around here to glue things down. And yeah, let me take out the latest one. All right, this is the latest design of the replica Vocaloid headphone. The replica of Vocaloid headphone. Yes, this is the latest one, which is, well, it is wireless now. Still using the same rechargeable battery, uses the micro USB. However, I am able to change that to Type C later on down the line. This is my prototype. Please just excuse me if for not doing any finishing touches like to paint this thing on, because yeah, I just got the perfect design for the Vocaloid headphone over here. And this wire, same thing, same concept. I'm going to put this thing on later. And this thing runs on 5 volt mainly. The LED is fully addressable RGB LED. This is also a button. There's also two switches over here. A lot of people don't see the switches over here. This switch is to turn on the audio system, and this is for you to turn off the whole LED for you to save more power while listening the music through it. So let me turn this thing on. However, currently it is kind of low on battery. I do hope that this thing has charges left. Turning on the LED first, and then turning on the microcontroller. Okay, no charges. Let me power this thing up. So I got things plugged into the headset, and currently the mic not really working. However, I am going to transition into the internal mic. So yeah, let me turn this thing on just like the previous. LED first, MCU. So yeah, things are on right now, running through the USB here, 5 volt USB to charge the battery. And of course, I've been using this for quite a while now, and everything's pretty much everything's quite comfortable to use. I also let some other people use this and see what are their feedbacks for this particular unit. And the results were very positive from their feedbacks, which is that they couldn't tell the audio quality between this and the store-bought one because the sound quality is very good, of course. Although for some other, for a real audiophiles, of course, they are going to say that this is pretty crappy. So, but then, hey, this is a replica of Vocaloid headphone, which is motivated me to make a real working one for those who want, who like Hatsune Miku or any other Vocaloid. And let me put this thing on. Okay, so this thing also 5-volt individually addressable LED, which has been diffused as well. Let me change to some other modes while having the battery charged up a little bit because I'm having trouble to have the LED being rendered by the whole thing, is because mainly the battery is quite low right now. So why is it that I wanted to make the whole thing? Is because that I wanted to see whether or not I'm able to develop the whole thing. Secondly, I pretty much kind of challenging myself whether or not I'm able to make this thing. And thirdly is that if I want to make a props such as this Vocaloid, the replica of Vocaloid headphone, is that I do not want it to be just an empty shell slapped together by using cardboard boxes or anything else that's painted black or anything, and then just find any random cheap headphone unit and put it together and be done with it. I pretty much want to have like something something that is like memorable, like this thing that has individually addressable LED that reacts to music as well as microphone. Not just that, the user will be able to change modes just like the second one you see earlier. And with the full individually addressable LED is that it is much easier to change to other color or anything else depending on anyone who wanted to have this. For example, Hatsune Miku's part, this one for the LED would be pink, purplish, or perhaps hot pink, I don't know. And if I want to change to Kagamine's color, which is blue, yes, I can. It's if it's going to be Megurine Luka, I think I forgot. Is it blue? I think it's blue. Then I can just change it to blue. Kagamine, Hatsune Miku, and Megurine Luka's headphone, all three of them has the same base dimension, which is I can just change the color if I want to. Let me try to turn on this thing again. So yeah, this is the famous running rainbow, and this thing also follows which channel it is on. Currently it is wired to the right side and it will follow the right side. Yeah, the voltage is quite low right now because of the low battery. And for the current thing over here, and for the current headphone over here, the latest one, which is the third one, is that it has like 10 LED modes, which is going to transition to the first one. I'm going to show you the first one. This is going to the number 10. Yeah, this is the first mode, which is only turns on. However, I set it to be that the LED will keep on changing color whenever you're going to turn it on later. See, currently it is purplish, and currently it is white and pretty much beige, I think. So yeah, and how long have I been doing this? For the third one specifically, the third one, this particular one specifically, has been about 5 years now. Yes, 5 years. However, the initial design for the one with the RGB one, this one is based on this. So yeah, it took me like 5 years in order to get to this stage where it is very comfortable to use and has a very good sound, of course, in my own perspective, and some other non-audiophiles perspective as well. In my eyes, I'm able to see almost individual LED, but then it is not very glaring to your eyes. It won't hurt your eyes, and in the camera, it is almost like a neon effect. I guess that's pretty much it. This is it for the timeline of Hatsune Miiku's replica headphone, or perhaps the timeline of the replica of Vocaloid's headgear or headphone. Pretty much a headgear though. And yeah, wires that goes out for this will be a pair of this. And yeah, this is the final thing already. All right, so let me know if you guys want to see a tutorial or perhaps a guide from me on how to diffuse an individual LED just like this one, a naked LED, to make it similar to almost like this one. However, from a human eye, it will be almost visible for each one of the LED, but in the camera, it looked like as if it is a neon effect. And yeah, I do hope that you guys having a good time with this video of mine, the timeline of my replica of Vocaloid headphone, pretty much a headphone and slash headgear because this thing is included, and 5 years. What you see over here is a final prototype for you guys to have one for yourself. So links down in the description below, and yeah, have a good day. Ashraf signing out. Peace.